I should not be doing this. It is 5:13 a.m. and I'm gonna make a YouTube video because I have nothing else to do other than sleep, but I'm stupid. Hopefully my brother doesn't wake up and complain that I'm recording a video. I should not be doing this. That's an excerpt, or that's a reference to Nintendo, to the start of Nintendo Capri Sun's Super Mario Bros. 3 Let's Play. The stupoid run, not the stupid run. That Let's Play is quite legendary. I've watched it at least twice. And he was in a similar situation. It was the morning and he was tired and he was recording a Let's Play. Because he figured if he can stay up long enough, he can go to the bank when the bank opens. Or was it the bank? Maybe it was the post office. Well, I'm not gonna be staying up like that, no. But I can't decide on how much I should sleep. 'Cause I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. I should stop worrying about it so much. I mean, how many days left do I have of this break? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not a lot, but I mean, like, but that's just one day tomorrow. Then I still have 3 days left, so 3 days. Yep. That should be good. But I don't want to seem like I'm procrastinating. And I guess that is what I'm doing. Kind of. It is. I'm just trying to make excuses. Okay, we're really getting serious here because there are only 5 innocents left. Oh. So here's a really... this might go really wrong. But I figured I don't have anything to talk about in these videos. So what should I do? What should I make videos about? And I figured, okay, so what am I passionate about? Or Ace Attorney. You know, I've been a fan of Ace Attorney since I was 11 years old. Okay, but what can I talk about regarding Ace Attorney? Oh yeah, the head scratchers, like as in flaws in the cases and stuff like that. And just the cases in general, if I just want to talk about something, I don't know. Like, for instance, in Turnabout Big Top, when I was rewatching Nintendo Capri Sun's Let's Play of Justice for All, specifically as a Turnabout Big Top, and I noticed that when they were in the cafeteria... What the they were talking about pepper. Or like they had... Mo was using some pepper. Were there hamburgers? And the pepper made Maya sneeze. And I noticed clear as day that, oh my god, that's a foreshadowing of the sneezing thing. About how Leon the Lion bit Acro because the lion sneezed because of the pepper. And this was like a total foreshadowing. And I'm like, oh my god. Because I noticed, isn't that one of the things, like, you know, a guideline regarding writing, that you're supposed to bring something up before it becomes important, kind of. Like, you're supposed to, you know, add stuff like that. Call it's Chekhov's gun, pretty much, right? They talk about this sneezing. Maybe I only noticed it because it was so terribly written. People always say Turnabout Big Top is the worst case. So maybe the only reason I noticed that was because of its terrible shoehorned, is it called shoehorned, writing. Maybe that's the only reason I even noticed it. Yeah. It just felt so awkward. It's like, wow, okay, so now Maya is sneezing, and because of this pepper, and like, oh my god, that's what happens later with Leon the Lion. They talk about that later. And they bring it up here to familiarize the player with the concept, I suppose. It's kind of like Chekhov's gun, like I said. Yeah, it's like if something is important, you bring it up earlier. You know, so it doesn't just come out of nowhere. Like, don't expect the player to do something which hasn't been, like, drawn attention to at all before. I think they did that sometimes, though, like in Bridge to the Turnabout, with the tracks of the snow vehicle. That was like out of nowhere, and I guess that's why that was so difficult for a lot of people. Oh, I have a bow. Well, is that the murderer? Yeah. Frick. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. This guy is not the murderer, right? The murderer was someone else, right? I'm just gonna follow this part. What the f... Oh no. What? Dude! Come on, I was innocent. Yeah, so I don't know, I just noticed it, like, oh wow, they brought up this pepper sneezing thing, because that's what happens later. I'm trying to explain the concept, but I'm not kind of failing. Actually, I noticed it somewhere else in Turnabout Big Top as well. There's this really weird moment in the first day of court, where Trillo says, "You're the judge. I mean, look at that horrible outfit." It is so awkward, but the reason it's awkward is because it's orange marked. The text is orange marked. You're the judge is orange marked, and horrible outfit is orange marked. And I'm like, why is this orange marked? Because I'd noticed that things in Ace Attorney aren't orange marked for no reason. They're orange marked because they're relevant. Why would "you're the judge, I mean, look at that horrible outfit" be relevant? That is so weird. And then I realized it. Oh my god. It's because... And like, they bring so much attention to this. Turnabout Big Top is a terrible case. Like, they really shove it down your throat. Nintendo Capri Sun was getting annoyed. Well, actually, then he forgot about it later. He got really... He really got stuck in Acro's testimony, even though it was like a really easy contradiction. I think it was easy. Or maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Well, he did kind of get stuck, but he always gets stuck because it, like, he thinks, wait, wouldn't that be too obvious? It was like, okay, let me explain this. First and foremost, the reason you're the judge, I mean, look at that horrible outfit, is orange marked is because an important part of the case is the prosecution, or just both sides really. A large factor in the case is establishing Max Galactica's identity by pointing to his 3 symbols: the cloak, the white roses, and the hat. His outfit. So, you're the judge. I mean, look at that horrible outfit. What Trillo is saying there is that the judge's outfit, clearly, I mean, the judge wears a specific type of outfit, and it shows that he is the judge. And that's why that was orange marked, because it's very important in the case that, oh, okay, Max has 3 symbols. And these are how we can know that that man who killed the Ringmaster was Max Galactica. They bring it up a lot of times. And not just that, but they, oh my god, they really shove it down your throat. The 3 symbols. They shove that down your throat so hard. And yeah, so Nintendo Capri Sun, there was this one part in one of the testimonies where in the testimony they only mentioned the dude on the stand only mentioned 2 of the symbols. And Nintendo Capri Sun was like, well, maybe they're only mentioning 2 of them because, like, it would be obnoxious to mention all 3. So would that really be it? That, like, oh, because it's not all 3? Is that really the contradiction? And turned out it was. So Nintendo Capri Sun tends to overthink things a lot in Ace Attorney. What the f... Oh my god. Yeah, well, that's pretty much all I had to say about that specific point. There's plenty more where that came from, though. But before I go there, let me just... This thing about going through the cases, if I'm going to be doing this, I can already say I've already gone through one of the contradictions in Turnabout Beginnings. I talked about it in one of the earlier parts in this Let's Play. It's so buried, because this Let's Play is so long. But, I mean, it's there. And hey, no one's actually watching my videos. If someone would like, I suppose I could put together a playlist of the videos of the parts of this Let's Play in which I talk about Ace Attorney. But that would... If that is only if I'm gonna be continuing this. Now I'm the murderer, so I kind of want to focus. Let's just get straight to it. Yeah. Was that an arrow? Oh, that was an arrow. Or a bow. Man, I'm good at this. I'm really good at this. Where do I go now? Did I see someone? They could be anywhere. They could be out on the boats, for all I know. That would be really rude of them. Oh no, the bow isn't dropped anymore. I love my blaze rod. Microtransactions. Huh, not really. I paid for it with in-game currency. Though, I don't know. I guess you could purchase these coins with real money, I think. I think that's possible. Okay, they were over here. I'm gonna have to be very careful, because one of them has a bow. And I don't... Here we go. Oh, it's in the air. You're fucked. You're so fucked. It's in the air. You're not gonna get to it. Now I just have to find the... Oh. But that's not all. That's not everyone. There's still someone left. Somewhere. Well. Don't tell me they're on that boat or something. There's no way. I'm gonna check. Why not? Well, because I'm running out of time. They're not on this boat. Where are they? I'm dying. Oh, there they are. Why did I take 2 hits? It seemed. Hey, I won. Okay, now, back to Ace Attorney. Why do I feel so calmed right now? It's like I feel better. I'm like in a better mood when I'm tired. I always feel like that. Feels kind of intoxicating. That's edgy. But yeah, really, some of my weirdest moments have been when I've been tired. Or, I don't know, whatever I mean by that. Well, it's like, I look back upon this morning, this summer, that I did this, the short film for the Mumkey Jones's summer short film festival. And I made that thing on like 0 hours of sleep, I think. Yeah. I was so tired. I don't even think I edited it. I think I went to sleep before I edited it. Or maybe I didn't. Oh man. So, back to Ace Attorney. In Turnabout Big... Okay, now I'm gonna be reading off of TV tropes. In Turnabout Big Top, why does the killer say he deliberately framed Max? Except for the lack of footprints, the evidence against Max resulted from chance events Acro couldn't have foreseen. It would have made more sense for him to claim I had no intention of framing Max, but when the police formed the wrong conclusion, I decided to go along with them. Well, that is what he meant, I think. Okay, now I'm gonna... Oh, that wasn't off the thing. So, damn it. Is this unclear? Okay, so where's the murderer? Frick. Oh yeah, so here's a bunch of bullshit which I decided to skip over. not everything on TV tropes is... Not everything on TV tropes really makes sense. Skipping all the bullshit, here's a piece. Ackroyd did not originally intend to kill without being blamed. All his plot was to get Regina into place where he could kill her without caring to hide his identity as the killer. It was entirely a coincidence that Mr. Barry happened to wear Max's costume to the crime scene and the coat happened to hang on to the bust incriminating Max. Ackroyd did not plan this to happen, and he really couldn't have. Though he did say he deliberately framed Max, I took that to mean he framed Max after realizing that other people were suspecting Max instead of him. And then someone else says, this explanation seems to be the most likely. There's really no way that Ackroyd could have planned to frame Max from the start. So I blamed Max could very plausibly just mean I decided to just roll with that after the fact, since it basically amounts to the same thing. So there's that loose end tied up. We got like nowhere with that. Well, kind of. Okay, looks like he's a very passive murderer. 15 innocents left. Thought I turned on. Okay, now something's happening. Guy with white sleeves. Okay. I'll be on the lookout. Sure. White. There he is. Okay, now we're talking. Yeah. It's Pirate Man. Justice for All, Case 3. It's established early on in the chapter that Max Galacticus' flying act is well known. Even the public knows about it. Yet, when Mo went to testify, Franziska told him to leave the part out where he saw the murderer fly away, just because it wasn't funny. Seeing as Max is the only suspect who's well known for their flying ability, wouldn't it have been better if they had left that part of Mo's testimony in? Surely she would have heard about Max's act either from the public, or when she was going over the crime scene herself. And someone responds, if he had brought it up, it was possible that the judge would have focused on that as its means of identification. But Phoenix could very easily have pointed out that Max doesn't really fly, it's all smoke and mirrors, and there's no reason to pretend otherwise. Meaning that it was clearly Max because Max can fly just results in her losing the case. Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah, so it totally makes sense for Von Karma to want to leave that out. Like, how could Von Karma say that Phoenix would have pointed out, Max can't fly, and it's like Von Karma would be like, well, Mo saw him flying. And it's like, okay, that just makes Mo an unreliable witness. And then Von Karma loses the case. Yeah, not a good plan. Okay, here we get someone talking about how contrived this case is, and it is very contrived. And don't even get me started on 2-3 and how contrived all that was. The murder weapon just happened to be a full-sized bust of one of their group, which is a very normal object for one to have. So for someone to have, even as an award. I assume he's being sarcastic there. right? The victim happened to be wearing both the hat and cape of that same person, and then somehow that cape magically gets caught on the statue, because apparently it was only being held onto the man's shoulders by magic or something. My mind tries to make the trick make sense, and it still seems nearly impossible. What are the odds of all this happening, honestly? The sheer impossibility of the entire thing is lampshaded repeatedly, but you know, that's what happened. Maybe 1 in a million chance, but that's the chance that happened. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he did not plan this, Acro. His original intention was just to kill Regina by the bust. And probably turn himself in if someone saw the murder. If we ignore the coincidences, then Acro's plan was pretty logical. Well, yeah. Barry dressed up as... Let's see. Is this anything relevant? Barry dressed up as Max in order to not be recognized as he went. As a result, Ben and Trillo saw Max's clothing, but also saw Barry's face, which is why, despite his grudge against Max, he said good evening to Barry anyways. Also, there were probably at least 5 things in Acro's room that he could have used as a murder weapon. That trombone looked pretty heavy, but he chose the bust instead because it suited his need for a small yet heavy object. Acro couldn't see out the window properly to know that a witness might see an object get pulled up, so he didn't take appropriate caution. It was an unlikely chance that the rope got caught onto the bust as it fell. So in retrospect, the murder plot wasn't all that implausible, besides the rope getting caught onto the weapon. But as stated before, Acro got damn lucky. At least for a while. Yeah, okay, that was pretty pointless that I just read that. Yeah, this is kind of pointless. Next person says, indeed, the very murder itself actually going through is highly unlikely. It is strongly implied that Russell Berry knew, when he saw Acro's note, that it was from Acro and intended for Regina, and what the implication was. Instead of simply accepting death in place of Regina, why didn't he go and confront Acro with the note, and talk Acro out of the murder of his daughter? Acro loved Barry like a father, and surely would have listened. Further tragedy could have been avoided for everyone. Although, of course, then we wouldn't have a case at all. But it just requires even more suspension of disbelief from the get-go than is usual in the series. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. This is a lot of suspension of disbelief. That is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous the more I think about it. Why? Why did he do that? The only explanation is that the ringmaster was suicidal. Like, why would he go and get himself killed? It makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. Oh my god. He finds out that, okay, Acro ordered Regina to go here, and then Regina's gonna get killed. You know what a sane person would have done there? The ringmaster, a sane person would have told Regina to stay away. Well, actually, Regina didn't even see the note, only the ringmaster. The ringmaster saw it first, I think, so like he grabbed it. And yeah. I think. Where did they even find that note? Where was it lying? It wasn't still on the bulletin board, was it? No way. So where was it? Oh, wasn't it in like Regina's pocket or something? No, it wasn't. Was it? Where was the note? Actually, I think it might have been a Regina. But if Regina had it, why didn't the ringmaster take it before Regina could read it? That is so weird. I don't understand. I don't remember. Oh well, I have a bow. Let's get him. I don't know who it is though. Should have been paying more attention. Here. Oh my god, I am so good at this game. The same person would have told Regina to stay away. And, you know, maybe talk to Acro about this. Try to get them to resolve the issue. You know? Instead, this nigga went... Oh my god, I said the word. This neighbor went and... this neighbor went and stood out in the snow. And let a bus strike him on the head. On the back of his head. He let Acro locate the ringmaster's head and drop a bust on it. He placed his head outside of Acro's window and let Acro throw down a bust. Why? It makes no sense. I mean, after the ringmaster dies, it's not like that would even guarantee the protection of Regina. You know, it's like, oh shit, I accidentally killed the ringmaster. Well, I still want to kill Regina. Like, what do you... Ah, that is actually really stupid. Okay, this case is a lot more stupid than I thought. For some reason, I have a very... I talked about this in a previous video. I have a very high suspension of disbelief threshold, I think. Unless I got that backwards. Low. No, it's high, I think. I don't even know what threshold means, really. I looked it up for that one video, but now I've forgotten. Or maybe I should look it up again. Yeah. Wait, shit. I might have used the wrong word. Isn't it low suspension of disbelief threshold? Did I say high in the previous video? Because it's low. Because it's like it needs to be exceeded for that thing to manifest itself. And in this case, the thing manifesting itself is suspension of disbelief. Suspension of disbelief means that you do believe it. Suspension of disbelief, keeping the disbelief away, believing it. And I very easily believe it. So then I have a low threshold of suspension of disbelief. Did I say high in my previous video? Man, damn it. Ah. But yeah, like I was saying. Well, what was I saying? If I said the opposite. The point is, I can very easily maintain my suspension of disbelief. It does not very easily break. It very easily holds steady. Okay, so now they're saying, wait, that's your problem with the case? Not the fact that Acro somehow thought Regina would consider herself a murderer and would pick up the box rather than sit on it to wait for the note sender? Because that's pretty obviously what would have happened if Regina had done exactly as the note said. Did the culprit honestly think she'd react any differently than she did, despite knowing her personality? If anything, that's the weirdest aspect of this entire case. About the sitting on part, I'm not sure why that would have... I'm not sure how that would have destroyed Acro's plan. Someone responds, personality aside, thinking a 16-year-old girl of small and slender stature would just decide to pick up a giant and heavy box and attempt to carry it away seems a little off by itself. If I really needed to take that box, which she didn't, as nobody could be sure it's an evidence box and not random junk Mo left out there box, I'd try taking one of the grips and pulling. Yeah, exactly. But I'm trying to imagine it in my head, and did Acro need to make sure that the person was trying to pick up the box? Like, I'm trying to figure out if that would have really been necessary to strike them in the head with the bust. Would that really have been necessary for them to pick it up? I mean, like, I'm trying to imagine it. Would the location of the head really have been that different, whether she was sitting on it or pulling it, or trying to pick it up, or pulling it by the handle, by the grip, one of the grips? Would her head really have been that differently placed? I mean, like, maybe. But, like, how precise could Acro really have been with his placement? He couldn't even see out that window, you know? Well, maybe that's why it needed to be more precise. I don't know. Frick. In case 2-3. Wait a minute, I skipped ahead. In that wacky old circus case in the second game, you're asked to present evidence that is mentioned in a note written by Acro. It roughly says, "I know what you did last 6 months ago. I have evidence." The evidence you're supposed to provide is not the bloody pepper-covered scarf, but a pepper shaker. Did I miss something? Most likely, someone responds. Acro put the evidence in the large trunk, right? When the cops opened the trunk, there was a pepper shaker inside. Thus, that's the evidence Acro provided, despite more obvious evidence having been made available. Someone else responds, it was most likely intentional. If the cops would have found the scarf, they would have most likely asked around for its significance. Upon finding out about Bat's incident, the cops would of course look into Acro. Since there would be a motive for murder, even though the motive was for Regina, among other things. Wait, for Regina? Among other things? I'm not sure what that means. But this would implicate Acro, and thus wanting to not cast suspicion on himself, he used the pepper shaker. Oh, there we go. Wrecked. Thus wanting to not cast suspicion on himself, he used the pepper shaker. Besides, it's a rather okay representation of Bat's accident. But wait a minute. Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess that would implicate Acro. Though I'm not sure why they needed to represent Bat's accident at all. Like, I don't understand that box. Why did he put the pepper shaker in the box? That makes no sense. I don't understand why he needed to represent Bat's accident with a thing in the box. It makes no sense to me. I don't understand. Anyway, I guess moving on. But that's just one thing I still don't understand. Case 2-3. It turns out that the one who orders the surprise search on Acro's room was Edgeworth, not Franziska. But if that's the case, why did Franziska act like she was the one who did it when Acro brought it up, blaming herself for doing something that ended up costing her victory? Someone responds, it seemed to me that Edgeworth just suggested it, and Franziska was actually the one who ended up ordering it be carried out. She could have just been mad at herself for taking that suggestion instead of thinking up an alternative. Yeah, wow. Would you believe it? Franziska actually taking the blame herself instead of blaming others? Huh. Wow. Would you believe it? Actually, I'm not even sure that's a character trait of hers, not doing it. Like blaming others. I'm not even sure if that's a character trait of hers, blaming others. I don't remember. I don't think it is. Is it? I think she might have done it. Like once. Like Edgeworth, it's all your fault. Did she ever say that? I don't know. Nah, I don't think so. I don't remember. Oh, I'm the murderer. Case 2-3. It turn out Big Top. Why does no one seem to notice that the supposed killer didn't leave footprints by standing next to the victim? That detail. Let's focus on the game. Does that person have a bow? It looked like it. Yeah. Got you. So where do I go now? Looks like there's no one else here except this one. I come across. What? Dude. The detective got me. That detail would have shown that the killer there couldn't have been human. Someone responds, because the defendant was flying when he committed the murder, and thus would not have left footprints. At least that's the story initially given, and the absence of footprints corroborates it. But the thing is, it doesn't. That's not the story initially given. Not by Franziska, anyway. When Mo says that when Mo says that he saw Max flying, Franziska says, leave that out, because that's not funny. That's not the angle Franziska's going for. Clearly. So, in that case, why the hell did the judge would the judge accept the absence of footprints? So I guess that's just another example of the Ace Attorney court system being corrupt. Even though there are no footprints. Guess it was still Max. Well, like, maybe the footprints could have been explained. I don't know. No, but no, they couldn't have. Because, can footprints be wiped away in the snow? I'm not sure. It kind of seems like they could. You know, you could just, like, smear some snow and maybe they'd disappear. I don't know. Maybe. Was there time for that, though? Maybe there wasn't. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to sleep now. I was thinking about... Well, earlier tonight, I was thinking about composing a piece of music. But I couldn't be bothered to. I kind of just want to quit making music. It's like, there's no point anymore. Like, I've exhausted everything. There's like no point. It's clear that I'm just not... it's not even enjoyable. I'm kind of just forcing myself. I don't know. Why do I just run? I was gonna quit, dude. Well, I could quit now. I guess I'm not gonna. But I got this recommendation for someone to read this little short story written by Xerbia, who is a YouTuber whom I have not watched. Yeah. This person, I noticed that this person had brought up Xerbia in the past, but I did not know that he wrote these books. So there's like this thing this person sent to me called The Bridge to Lucy Dunn, which is a collection of stories. And this person told me to read the eponymous story called The Bridge to Lucy Dunn. Because like, so the entire collection is called like story The Bridge to frick. The entire story is the entire collection is called The Bridge to Lucy Dunn. And there is a story in here called The Bridge to Lucy Dunn. And this person told me to read The Bridge to Lucy Dunn. Now normally I wouldn't read, but it was pretty short. It was only like 12 pages, so I was like, sure. And I did. So like that's one of the reasons I didn't want to compose a piece of music, because my time is limited tonight. And I was like, no, I'm not going to compose this. I'm not going to compose when I can make a video like this. See, I'm making a video right now. And when I could be reading this Bridge to Lucy Dunn. And I did not understand this this little short story here. It was so confusing. Like, it was like, so there was this guy who wrote this story, and in this story there's this person who writes a story, and the people in the story that this person is writing about has the names of the people who are reading the... Okay, let me say it like this. Okay, so we have like story 1, which is the one, The Bridge to Lucy Dunn. And then we have story 2, which is the story which this dude named Michael has written. And then we have story 3, which is the story which this person inside of story 2 has written. It's like a... what was it, like a play? I think she'd written a play. And the people in story 3 have the same names as the people in story 1. Like, so there are 2 people reading story 2, of which one of them wrote story 2. And there's this character in story 2 who wrote story 3, but the people in story 3 have the same names as the people in story 1. Or like the people in story 3 have the same names as the people who are reading story 2, and of which one of them wrote story 2. And I mean, that could be fine if only weren't for the fact that it sounded like one of the people which the story 1 is about, like the one who's with the author of story 2, it sounded like they just met. So it's like, how could this woman, her name, how could her name be in story 3? Like, it makes no sense. And then also, there's this old man in story 2, and it turns out he has the same name as the guy who wrote story 2, and it's like, what? I think that's how it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was. It's like, okay, buddy. That's not really a oh shit, I'm the murderer. I'm the fucking murderer. Why are these people dying? What the f... Oh my god, I ran out. What the hell? What the hell just happened? Okay, this is the weirdest shit. What just happened? I mean, I kind of feel annoyed at myself now for not taking the chance to murder people, because I was the murderer there and I didn't even notice. But that's happened before. It's not a big deal. It won't matter in a year. From now I'll be like, didn't matter. Chubby Emo says, your feelings don't matter. I'm gonna be fine. Well then. Yeah, so the bridge to Lucy Dunn. But I'm gonna talk about this with the person who recommended it to me, I guess. But I figure I usually talk about things in my videos, and I guess that allows me to have a bit more free speech, like, as in I get to ramble for 5 minutes, or 3 minutes at least, 4 minutes. You know, if I were to ramble for that long when I'm talking to someone, then it would feel like I'm wasting their time, kind of. Yeah. Well then. Yep. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't know how long I should sleep tonight. I should have tried going to sleep earlier tonight. I don't know. No, I didn't feel like it. Didn't feel like it. I mean, I was kind of feeling tired, I guess. Should have tried it. You know, I've been sleeping like 11 hours lately. Like, multiple days in a row, I've just been sleeping 11 hours or so. And being in bed for like 15 hours. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I don't know how I have time for this. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Like, it's 6:07 now. Wait, 6:00... Oh my I've been recording for almost an hour. Holy frick. Wow. It doesn't add up. It's like... Oh god, what resolution am I recording in right now? Okay, 1080p. Good. Didn't want it to be 720p, I don't know. It's like, what was I saying? Yeah, it doesn't add up. How can I be up till 6 AM and sleep 11 hours at the same time? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Okay, if I went to sleep at 5 AM last night... Like, it doesn't add up because, like, it's been like 16 hours. But 16 plus 16 is 32, not 24. You know? Let's think about this for a second. So how long am I in bed, really? How long was I in bed today? I was in bed for... So I went to bed at 5 a.m., kind of, approximately. And then I was in bed until, say, like... I don't remember. Oh yeah, but I could just Control F on Discord here, and I can find out. So cold. I was complaining that it was so cold in my room. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so I lay in bed until 4 p.m. 16:00. And that means I was lying in bed for 11 hours. Yeah, 11 hours. And yeah, towards the end it was like I was kind of half sleeping, half awake. I don't know, it's weird, I can't really explain it. Well, I could. Well, I don't know, I can't. Not that it's very complicated. You know, it's just like I'm kind of dreaming. I think I was dreaming. Oh, speaking of which, I've had a lot of dreams lately. Maybe I could go over them like really quickly here. But wait a minute, let me just finish my point. Yeah, okay, 11 hours. And now, how long after 16:00? How many hours is that? 8 plus 5. That's 13. Oh yeah, 13 plus 11, that's 24. So it does add up. Of course it does, because math doesn't fail you. Math never fails you. I like math. I really liked math. I still do, but like, I don't know. I haven't really had much fun with math lately. I used to. I used to have a lot of fun. That was like one of the things I really liked in like late 2018. Like the second half of 2018 and the first half of 2019. I really liked math. And the first half of 2018. But like the first half of 2019, I really liked math. I used to, after class was over, I used to sit in the hallway doing math for about 10 or 15 minutes before the lunch, before the dining hall opened, because the dining hall didn't open on Tuesdays. Like, our math class was over at 10:30, but the dining hall didn't open till 10:45, so then it was just kind of awkward. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just keep doing math then. Did I say math class? Yeah, it was math class that ended at 10:30, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll just sit down here and do some math. Not that I would have preferred to stay in class or anything. No, not at all. I preferred sitting in the hallway. Those were some good times. Just sitting by myself doing some math. I loved it. That was a lot of fun. Everything else was not fun. Just that one thing. Just doing the math. And something else. I don't know what it was. What was I doing? I was doing math. And I was talking to some 7th graders. And then I was talking to some of my classmates and the teacher, because they came and sat down and talked to me about Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. Yep. You know, because at least back then, you know, I had classmates. And, you know, that wasn't all bad. No, not at all. Really. Like, sure, my classmates made me infuriated in class, sure. But that's, well, that depends on the class. In woodwork class, my classmates were pretty cool, but that's because a lot of them were from other classes, not from my class. I thought they were really funny. You know, the people I had woodwork with. They were some funny guys. Yeah, they were really funny. My regular classmates were so boring. And they were like hardcore politically correct. And sure, those ones would have been too if I were in other classes, sure, but at least in woodwork, well, probably, I'm assuming, but in maybe they weren't. But in woodwork class, at least, it was fun. You know, they roasted my jazz music. So, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, my dreams. So, I've been having crazy dreams lately that I can barely remember. So, like 4 days ago or 3 days ago or so, I had this dream that it was like this video game. It was like this 2D kind of side scroller thing. It was kind of like Kid Icarus, and it had like these different, it was like this level, and like there was something that you could move, kind of. That's about all I can say. It was blue, and it was like dark blue. The rooms were dark blue in color, something like that. And it reminds me of a dream I had a long time ago, where there were all these rooms. It was like a Kid Icarus dungeon, and there were like these enemies in the dungeon rooms. Yeah, it was pretty much just a Kid Icarus style dungeon. I just remember that from one of my dreams. And I remember there was this other dream I had a long time ago, where I was going through a 3D kind of dungeon, castle. Not a castle, but like a, yeah, kind of like a dungeon. Kind of like an Ocarina of Time dungeon, really. It was like 3D, and it kind of reminded me vaguely of Kid Icarus. Yeah. And it was like red in color. A certain part of it. It was like a tower. At one part. It was like I was on like a higher floor and it was all red. Something like that. I barely remember. I've been having weird dreams about like my parents bothering me and getting angry. Me getting angry, that is. Yeah, I had the dream like that. And last night I had a dream, and the only thing I can remember is that I was wearing my mizzen and main white dress shirt. That's the only thing I remember. Yeah, so very vague, but at least I said it now. Because I was gonna say this like 2 or 3. I haven't been making videos lately. But look at me, 65 minutes here. It's like when I'm talking to people, I'm super quiet, but then I get on these rants in my videos. Because it's totally different. Because here, I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't have to care about anyone else in these videos. You know, I don't have to ask people questions. I don't have to do anything. I can just talk about whatever I want. And if I want to be quiet, I can be quiet. And if I want to talk about Ace Attorney, I can talk about Ace Attorney. And I can talk about my dreams, and I can talk about my sleep, and I can talk about my memories. I mean, like, sure, but like here I can just talk about for however long I want. I can talk however I want. So relaxing. It's like I feel like this is just what I've been doing, like the entire second half of my life. Just been making YouTube videos. It's like I have nothing else. This is all I do. And I watch YouTube videos, and that's all I do. You know, I look back fondly upon 2 years ago when I could just relax and watch Destiny videos, you know, Stephen Bonnell II. I can just listen to him and relax. I miss that time. Even though I wasn't happy 2 years ago. Can't believe it's been 2 years. But at least I could relax, you know, kind of. Like, I was unhappy. But at least I wasn't really in a rut. Not yet. Like, I was messed up in the head, but like, not on, but I was still functional, kind of. Now I'm very dysfunctional. You know, I just miss that time. Even though I really shouldn't. I really disliked it. You know, that was around the time I was going to the grocery store to do my, like, how do I say it in English? My program providing 1 to 3 weeks of experience working in a real job during middle school in Sweden. I was going to the grocery store to do that for 2 weeks. And that wasn't fun. It really wasn't. You know, I was antisocial and shy. I was like, you know, socially anxious. You know, I didn't like talking to people. People would come up to me and treat me as if as if I actually work there. You know, because maybe I look like it or something. I don't know what they were thinking. They don't know. You know, some of these people are from different countries too. You know, I got some Germans. I don't know if there was anyone else. No, there was some people I spoke English to. Well, including the Germans. You know, it's like, I don't know what they were thinking. Why is this 14-year-old boy here in these clothes? I didn't like that. You know, and like, there were these little kids at school who would come up to me and bother me during my break. You know, before I went to PE class, I used to sit in the hallway, and there were like these little 12-year-olds who came up to me and was like bothering me. I was like, what do you know, you like playing Minecraft? Oh yeah, Minecraft. I like do all this crap. They were being like kind of mean too. I don't remember exactly what they said anymore. Should have written it down. All I remember is that I drew an angry picture. I drew an angry picture. And you know what? I might as well say it. It doesn't matter anymore. Pretty much in the picture, I killed them with a firearm. These little kids who were bothering me. And then I said, "Nu ska jag gå hem och se på Stephen Bonnell den andre." Which means, now I'm gonna go home and watch Stephen Bonnell II. I shouldn't have said it in Swedish first, as if anyone knows Swedish. That was quite edgy. But I mean, it's just a joke. Or not a joke, but like, you know. It doesn't matter anymore. That was 2 years ago. I don't know who those kids were. And I drew the picture in all red. Might as well show you the picture, actually. Oh my god, I made another one in which I shot Daniel Howell, because I was just kind of angry at him, which is totally unreasonable. It's like, come on, what did he do? He didn't do nothing. You're just jealous. Oh man, I also said I hate you, you vermin. That is so mean. This is so messed up. I mean, nu ska jag hem och se på Steven Bonnell den andre. I love this picture I drew at the end. This is so messed up. Like, it makes me look like a school shooter. But I'm not. I'm not a school shooter. Not at all. Last time you thought that, you were fucking wrong. And, you know, can I blame you for thinking that? I don't know. But I'm not a school shooter. Please don't call me a school shooter. It's kind of disrespectful, you know. I just kind of, you know, was a bit angry and wanted to draw a little picture. It's exaggeration, you know. Nu ska jag hem och se på Steven Bonnell den andre. Se, not see. Nu ska jag hem och se på Steven Bonnell den andre. It's like, it's so stupid. I miss when my life was that simple, that I could just go to school, and I went to school, you know, and then I just watched Steven Bonnell II. That's what I did. I miss when I was just content with just watching Steven Bonnell II when I came home. It's like now I feel like I have all these things I need. I feel like I need to have proper. I feel like I can't just go to school, and like I need something like to do when I'm at home other than watch Steven Bonnell II, because I feel like that's a waste of my time. I feel like I need to be doing something like productive other than school, if school is even productive. That's my problem. I always feel like I need to be doing something productive. I mean, I can start going to school again. I kind of skipped school too much this autumn. I regret it. I regret it. I really do. I'm gonna try to find a solution to my schooling. Man, I just missed that time. I drew this picture on the wait, when? April 9th, 2018. April 9th, 2018. 10th of April, 2018. Yeah, so I drew this picture on April 9th, 2018. And yeah, it was on the 23rd of April was when I was doing the Swedish program providing 1 to 3 weeks of experience working on a real job during middle school in Sweden. I was doing that thing on the 23rd of April 2018. I can't believe that was like almost 2 years ago. Oh my god. And I would have a video. I recorded a video of the inside of that grocery store. Because like in like the employee area, I recorded a video inside the employees area during my time there. It's a mundane video, but unfortunately I've lost that because I lost like all my pictures and videos on my phone because of this, because iTunes imported, because I accidentally imported my old pictures and videos that iTunes had stored. And like that deleted all of the data on my phone in the process, and that sucked. am I ever gonna get over that? I guess that's just like a, you know, we learned about Buddhism in school around the same time, actually. And this would have been a great example to tell my teacher, as if I had an opportunity for that. I'm not someone who would just tell the teacher something. Hell no. But like, I wrote like this homework piece. I probably wouldn't have been able to fit it in there appropriately, but the gist of it is I lost all these pictures and videos, and I feel bad about that. But maybe that's just like a material thing. I shouldn't care about that, you know. That's like a desire for these material pictures and videos. That's like, that's inappropriate. You should lose this desire, and you should, because like, you're suffering because you've lost this. Well, you need to remove this desire for these pictures. You need to find inner peace. Not concern yourself with these pictures you've lost. They don't truly matter. And I was playing Pokemon Crystal at the same time, randomized. And I told the teacher about that I was playing video games. And like that, maybe that's like inappropriate. But it's not necessarily, I don't think. I don't think Buddhism is anti-video games. Not necessarily. I don't know. Kind of depends. Whatever. But then I remember that my father once watched one of my videos which was this long, and it's like, oh god. So no matter the length, my father might watch it. Yeah. Oh frick. Yo, she kinda looks like a girl from Yosuga no Sora. Did I ever talk about Yosuga no Sora? I feel like I must have, right? It was like they totally baited me. I told this to the person who recommended that anime to me. Yosuga no Sora, at the end of episode 1, it's like she says, she says to her brother, I want you to help me come. And she's like only in her underwear. And then it's like a cliffhanger, and then in the next episode it reveals that, oh, I want you to help me come to school by helping me sew like this button on the school uniform or something like that. And it's so stupid. It's like, oh my god, you can't just trick me like that. That's so fucking... Ugh. That was on purpose, right? The only reason I'm doubting that is because, like, you know, it's subtitles. Why would that trick work necessarily translated into English? Then it's... If that was intended to be a trick, if it was in the original language, then... Aren't you glad it worked in English too? Ugh. And just the characters were so obnoxious and stupid. Ugh. Who the fuck cares? Yeah. Well, anyway. I'm gonna go to sleep now. I don't know how long I'm gonna wake up, but I don't know how long I'm gonna sleep, but I should really stop complaining about that. It's really not gonna matter. You know. It's really not going to matter a year from now whether I sleep 6 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours now. It's not going to matter a year from now. I should stop giving so much weight to these decisions. It's only making me miserable. It's like the choice paralysis thing. Though I guess if you keep making the wrong decisions consistently, then I guess it could be bad, but I don't think it's going to be that bad a year from now. I think I'm going to make the right decision. Hopefully. It's really not going to matter. I don't think. Not this one instance anyway. I'll just try to, if I keep making the wrong decision, I hope I can fix that. Yeah, I think it'll be fine. So farewell.